you coached world and European champions.
Yes.
So how did you spot them as potential champions?
Good question. Great question. One was the one I tell a story about all the time. This was back when I was in the TGB. There was a young lady, she was 13 years old, and her parents brought her along. It was her mum actually brought her along. This was early 90s. And I said to her mum, I said, listen, you need to take your daughter to the tournaments because she's going to be really, really good. Because I can spot it it's probably the same as yourself, so you can spot talent a mile away. And she had all the attributes. She had focus. She wasn't the most flexible person in the world, and she didn't become the most flexible person in the world, but she had that mindset. She had that, I want to compete, I want to do well. She was never big-headed. So I said, right, you need to go to all the tournaments. And in those days, TGB had, goodness knows, 8 or 9 tournaments, probably 10 tournaments a year. And we went to every one. She got knocked out of everything first round. She didn't win a single fight or a pattern thing or breaking or anything like that. She didn't win a thing. She kept coming back and she was a bit disappointed. I said, Mum, listen, keep going. And her mum was going, but I'm paying out money. I said, listen, trust me, she's going to do really, really well. Second year, same thing. Same 8 tournaments, nothing. Third year, she was obviously losing interest. Yeah. And I said, right, I promise you have to keep going. So she started to win a few rounds. Didn't win any medals, but a few rounds. She got through the first couple of rounds of sparring, first couple of rounds of patterns, and she started to do well. By that time, she'd graded, so she was doing breaking. She started to break, didn't win, but she started to break. 4th year, she started to win everything. She won virtually. I think she entered eight tournaments, and she won everything out of all of them. 5th year onwards, she was undefeated, and for the next 6 years, I think she was totally undefeated. In sparring, pattern, destruction, high kick, the whole lot, because she had that mindset, and I could see it a mile off. So I think it's important for people to stick with it, and particularly parents, because kids will give up at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, and change interests.
Yeah. Oh, it's sunny today. Oh, I'll go. Oh, yeah, it's changed. So it's different. On. Or the new or the latest films out, or the latest trainers are out. I want them. I want the uniform. I want a dobot. Oh, we got a dobot. Oh, I don't want it anymore. It's terrible, isn't it? Because kids will just, it's a throwaway society. But if they stick to it, it's a great thing for them to do. And she went on to become 6-time world Taekwondo champion.
Fantastic. You didn't drop her name in?
Well, she's no longer with me anymore. I mean, she was in the TGB. Her name was Rebecca Riggs.
Well done, Rebecca Riggs.
Yeah, she went on. She was a gladiator. Well, I don't know if she was a gladiator, but she went on the gladiators. She actually went on there's a thing back in Sky, but in the early noughties, Sky TV show, in Japan or in China.
Oh.
And she was one of the teachers.
The teachers on the show.
Yeah.
I don't know what the show was called, but the few.
Yeah, I can't have to remember the name of that show, but she was on that. It was like a 10-week series.
Oh well, if you got Google, open Google, and try and find.
Yeah. And then the others I've had. There's one young lady, again very similar, and she's still competing now. She lives up in Liverpool. And she competes. Her name's Emily White. And she's just been given the European title for ITF Union in, I can't remember, that was Spain, I think it was, right. In patterns. And again, she was one of those really shy, very quiet, nervous people. And I remember her from her first, her mum still trains with me, bless her. And Emily will train when she comes down here, but obviously she's in Liverpool, but it gave her a great foundation for her to compete. Then there's one of the other guys who was an incredible guy. He's now in Cornwall, Ryan Simpson, one of the most gifted athletes I've ever seen in my life. Incredible technician. Sparring, he could stand as close as, from here to you, and he'd kick you in the head. He went on to WTF. He did some WTF stuff or some WT stuff. But he was a fantastic fighter. Incredible. Big loss because he went on the WT program.
Right.
And was badly treated, I think. They wanted him to go up in weights because there was too many at his weight category. And Ryan was like a product of God. He was like a very he studied nutrition. That's what he did at uni. So there was no way he was going to put on that weight just to satisfy them. No. So he got shafted a little bit, really, which is a shame. Yeah. So there's quite a lot of them around. Emily's the current European champion. So yeah.